Welcome to the Dork Forest. Jackie and her pals will never bore us. Shameless confessions
about our obsessions
will make us laugh and smile. So let's explore the Dork Forest and dork out for a while.
Hi, I'm Jackie Cation, and you're listening to The Dork Forest. You've done it. You've chosen wisely. The website's JackieCation.com, DorkForest.com, TheDorkForest.com. JackieCation.com has everything, right? This podcast, links to my other podcast, links to my calendar for when stand-up comedy happens again, links to the merch if you want a Ranger of the Dork Forest t-shirt. If you want any of my stand-up merchandise, there's a bunch of new merch over there. There's the old pins. There's a new challenge coin. There's a bunch of t-shirts. There's CDs. There's my DVD. And there's some video. And there's more of the information that you could deal with. Also, so that's on JackieCation.com. And there's a link on, of course, DorkForest.com to the merch page. The other thing you could do is you go to iTunes and review the show. That's always something that's supposed to help. Hi. You might be listening to the show on Pandora or Spotify or Amazon or Stitcher or some other place. Anyway, you might be just listening to it at dorkforest.com, which will also have the videos. As long as we're in COVID, as long as we're in quarantine, I am doing Zoom. I'm doing this show as also a video show. So you can go to the YouTube page and get a bunch of that. That also has a bunch of my stand-up clips on it as well. Let's do the credits. Hey, Mike Rickberg wrote and composed that song that you just heard, and he sang it with his wife, Sarah. He will sing at the end of the program his words to the Mexican hat dance. Very glamorous. Patrick Brady fixes the audio, the video. He does everything, and he really kind of keeps me sane. Loving Patrick Brady, especially in these days. And then Vilmos keeps JackieCation.com rocking and rolling, as the kids say. There are several ways to support the show. I've already mentioned reviewing the show on iTunes. You could also just tell people that you love the show. That's always something. You could repost it if it's a particular episode you enjoy. You could join the Ranger page on Facebook if you like. That's just a bunch of people who love the show, and they can riff on each other and talk about the show and dorky things that they love themselves. My Twitter, Instagram, and all things, Snapchat, at Jackie Cation. If you ever want to get in touch with me, it's Jackie at JackieCation.com. That's my email address. And if you want to donate, you can just give me money, quite honestly. You can PayPal me, Jackie at JackieCation.com, or use the button on JackieCation.com or DorkForest.com, and it comes directly to me. I will use it, in this case, enormously wisely on things like shelter and food until I'm on the road again. And then, and I appreciate whatever you could send. If you want to make it monthly, if you do monthly things, you can make the PayPal thing monthly. You can also, if you don't like PayPal, you can pay me by Venmo. My Venmo is just my name, Jackie-Cation, and then a picture of me windswept, I believe. Other than that, yeah. Bandcamp. If you've run out of episodes to watch and would like more, there are live episodes on dorkforest.bandcamp.com. And there's a bunch of episodes. There's 200 episodes before I started pre-recording. The best 17 of the horrible audio that they were are on Bandcamp. So you can listen to those for free. There's a bunch of live ones that are like $2 a piece because they cost me some money to produce. So I charge you a couple of bucks. There's also a storytelling album if you like that. So much info. Let's get into the show. Hey, it's Jackie Cation. How the hell are you? I am in my, whatever room this is in my home. And we're doing a Dork Forest with Amber Preston, comic of Minneapolis, lives here. We've known each other for 1,000 generations. So many generations. And it's at Preston Party, you guys, because it's a party. PrestonParty. Do you have an album? You have an album.
I do. It just came out. I thought right at the beginning of a global pandemic is the perfect time.
People got downtime. They can listen to some comedy.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's good and bad. Buy some merch, get lots of marketing materials that you would hand to people in person in road gig situations, plan a big album release party. Yep. Sparkly Parts. It came out on April 17th. And now it's available.
Sparkly Parts.
Yeah.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, get out there, download it, buy it,
Do
Go
the
to
things.
Preston Party, do the things, because it can't hurt. Your heart will feel better, and then
And then my heart will feel better because I will pay
have an income.
for rent.
Yes, Preston Party will have some dollars.
Yeah.
So you're doing the Lord's work over here. Amber Preston, welcome to the Dork Forest.
Thank you for having me. I'm in my living room, but I for the listeners, I have a blue screen behind me.
You really do.
Yeah, to feel professional. I guess I could like change my background, which seemed so fun in the early days of Zoom meetings. Like I'm at the beach, or like I would download my album cover behind me on a Zoom meeting. But
You're not wrong. People are still doing it. Some people still have joy in their hearts, Amber Preston. And
no, I have the joy of covering up my messy living room. That's what I have. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
This is one.
Oh, that's fun.
Polka dots.
Polka dots is fun.
Polka dots is so super cute. Leave
Right.
that. Leave
Okay.
that. I'm going to get rid of mine. I say leave that, but then I don't see how your head looks. Yeah, your head looks all right. Yeah, but if you get bored with it, it's not insistent. You don't have to.
That might be better there because I have
There you
a
go.
green screen.
There you go. I love what you're doing here. Now,
Great.
here, but now we have to dork out because you have church cookbooks.
Yeah.
My church cookbooks.
My dorkdom. Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm open to many an old cookbook, but specifically Midwest.
Let's start with church. Yeah.
Yeah, I have just to get us a little launching pad. Two of my they also they're such history books. I think if we're gonna get deep about it, but it's also like you're a Midwesterner.
Sure.
You understand the language of passive aggression.
I brought my own.
Yes, cooking like mama. Favorite.
Cooking like mama. Yeah.
Favorite Armenian recipe. See, now that one, I there's be some recipes in there that I would actually learn for, be like, oh, I want to make that. Not as much maybe in.
Not as much as the historical documents. As
oh god, this is it's hard. It's a blue thing. You can't see it. But Lutheran, this is my new. So these also are insights. Oh, there we go. Insights into.
Turn off your virtual screen.
Yeah. It's getting crazy. They're insights into who I am as a person because the shade that is thrown in some of these, this one is all right. These are some of my favorites. This is a collection of recipes. West Sveadal Lutheran Church, St. James, Minnesota. Yeah, nice. My favorite is many of these, if you get them from a used home, so I have so many favorite things. But one favorite thing is, I don't know if you can see, under this garden vegetable salad, which I assume is just vegetables from the garden.
From the garden. I've been making a garden vegetable salad. Can I tell you what's in it?
Yeah.
Bell pepper, zucchini, yellow squash, tomato. I've had to purchase an onion out in the world. And then mint, because those are the things in my garden.
She doesn't have mint in here, Mrs. James Anderson. We don't get to know who she is, just Mrs. James Anderson. But somebody made this and checkmarked it. So sometimes there'll be notes inside if you find a used one, or a little, just a little too salty, or very
a little note,
little note from grandma. So if I find one out at a garage sale or something, if it's just a regular old church.
Yeah,
I might just make sure there's some handwritten notes because I have plenty of these. Oh, never tell salad. Never tell salad.
What is that?
Eunice Jurgens. It's a cup.
Or Eunice.
Eunice, yeah, that'd be Eunice. That'd be Eunice. I got so excited about never tell salad.
You really did. Never. Okay, I have so many questions. First question.
Yeah.
Because we're there.
Yeah.
Read the never tell salad.
Never tell salad. It's a cup of pineapple juice, one packaged lime jello, because of course you got to have lime jello.
No, this is okay, all right.
Yeah,
no, pineapple salad.
Okay. 15 large or 45 small marshmallows. No more, no less.
What? No.
And then 1 cup cottage cheese, and then half a pint of whipping cream. All of that sounds okay. Sounds sort of okay, but Jackie, I'm gonna tell you the first instruction is where they lose me. Heat the pineapple juice. That sounds gross to me.
Wow. They lost me at marshmallows, I think is where that, or Jello, or possibly pineapple juice. Whatever those are, and the word salad, of course.
Yeah.
This is a classic. This is a classic Midwestern error. That is.
Yes.
That is. You can't call everything a salad. No, don't put that down. I have
Oh
one
yeah.
more question about that.
About Eunice.
Talk to me about publication date. I wish to know.
Okay, this one. So that's another fun thing. So what do you think? And this, I don't know. Well, let's make sure it tells us on this one before I make a guess.
I gotta go. That's probably a reprint from. I mean, I genuinely think they've been collecting that for decades, but I think that's a reprint from the 90s.
Close. It's 85.
Oh God.
1985. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a bit older, but you're on the right track.
This might have been the original printing of that terrible advice. Okay, interesting.
You can sometimes tell by the table of contents, like this one, oldies but goodies. So it's it's not the oldest one because they're referencing oldies but goodies, salads. And then they also have salads and dressings linked together. So this is a little bit more modern because it's not just like all salads, which is going to be sugary and savory. They're like, we know now that salads are actually, they involve vegetables and no Jello. Right. And it also has a this and that section, which is very important.
What is it?
This and that. It's often like cleaning ingredient, like basically like vinegar and water. Like here's Judy Jorgensen's cleaning solution, and it's like vinegar and a dash of lemon. This might be the book that has the recipe for. It also has amazing artwork. Like somebody in the church, wanted to be an artist, and then they had 17 children, and here we are. This and that. Okay, the this and that section in this one is, it's got like cocktail sauce, finger Jello, which is probably just jigglers,
Right, those are just cubes.
Yeah. Ham and scalloped potatoes, crock pot. I don't know why that wouldn't be under a regular thing.
That's an entree.
An entree. Right. So that one is, I get so excited. I see something in there that I like.
Have you tried to make any of these?
Every once in a while, or I'll reference them, like when I want to make something like Coogan or Divinity.
What's Coogan?
Coogan is now I just have my straight up mom's recipe. Coogan is a German, like it depends on where, like it's different everywhere, but it's like a pastry cake thing, a sweet dessert. But my mom's is really, really thin and like caramely, like because she just does her own thing. But sometimes it's like a custard pie dessert thing. Okay. But you've had Divinity, haven't you? So
these are words that I know, but I don't know what Divinity is offhand.
Divinity,
a Turkish delight.
It looks like a white poop. Like it looks like a scoop of, or it looks like a meringue, but it's much denser. It's so rich. And so like I'll look to all these books.
How do you make a Divinity?
You just boil sugar and water, and then like until it's a very specific temperature, and then add egg whites. It's like real, like corn. It's like thicker. It's more. I'm gonna make you sometime. It's difficult to make if you're me because
fiddly and
because it has to be just the right temperature. The corn syrup in the water has to be just the right temperature, or the corn syrup and not the water. The corn syrup and the sugar.
There's more sugar in addition to corn syrup.
Yeah, so you boil corn syrup and sugar together, and then you have to fold in egg whites.
Holy cow.
Yeah, and another thing is these books, the older ones, like don't give you instructions. They just all say like, at the very end it'll be like, put it in an oven until it's done.
Yeah, until it's done. Yeah. You've seen it. You know what it should look like. Just keep it in there until you think it's done.
Yeah, just put a little of this, a little of that. Yeah.
That's insane.
So I don't, to answer your question, I don't I also don't like to cook. I really, really don't like it. So this is an odd thing to like to collect.
Well, I think it's more of a history book, as you're saying. So do you have any from my third question before we weed off into what the stack of books next to you? Do you have a church cookbook from your childhood?
Not here with me in LA. My mom has a whole slew that I've said do not get rid of.
Is she still using them?
I think she has like a couple things. Like there's maybe a specific cookie recipe Or it's just like you don't throw them. They just live in that shelf above the stove. And like you're not going to put anything else up there, so you might as well keep them.
Right,
So,
and she's got, except for that when you cook, then everything just kind of, they get greasy and gross.
right. Yeah. Like this has got like just gross stuff on it.
Yeah.
She does, my childhood church, my Catholic church growing up was St. Benedict's Church right outside in Horace, North Dakota.
Thank you.
And there's a recipe in there that has it's a straight up racist.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And
Which is interesting because North Dakota couldn't be whiter.
Oh,
couldn't
God.
be less diverse. Is it some? Do you remember Jim Wooster's joke about he's from South Dakota and he said racism in South Dakota is so weird because there's only white people. You could be racist against the Native Americans, except for that you have to be committed to really, because they're not doing anything. There's that is a anyway. He had a couple of punchlines. Anyway,
well, I mean, it's definitely like that. We were very Catholic, so it's like, those Lutherans, like that was definitely like an us and them vibe.
That's because you guys are the Antichrist. I don't know this, the papists.
Oh, I hadn't heard about that. I was too busy not reading my Bible and judging people in church.
Having it read to you.
Yes.
So there's like a full-on racist.
Because there's always also an ethnic section in these books.
Wow, is there? Is there an ethnic section in the one in front of you?
Let me check it. I say that always and then watch this one won't.
Because I will say that Cooking Like Mama, the Armenian, the ethnic section is actually Wisconsin. Like the rest of it's full-on Armenian, and then the ethnic section is Whitey Magoo's from Wisconsin. It's a Polish-German thing.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Of course, these ones. Hey, babe. Will you help me for a second? I'm going to call for reinforcements. I didn't grab this one on.
This is like phone a friend.
Right. Yeah. It has an ethnic section, and it's always like the same 4 recipes. It's like 17 different versions of tacos. Would you grab the Portland, North Dakota cookbook? I forget what the name of the church is, but it's from Portland, North Dakota. I know which one I want. It's too much. My childhood cookbook, I remember seeing that in high school and being mortified, and I'd blocked it out, like trauma, blocked it out. And now since I've started accruing more of these and sharing my love of these cookbooks, relatives will send me snapshots and pictures from other cookbooks and things they find. And my aunt was like, do you remember this from St. Ben's cookbook, this thing? And
my goodness.
So, sometimes it's like, that's history. That's
history fraught with racism. I imagine it would be just some sort of like a Mexican, like a taco recipe, some sort of Southern thing that was implying that Black people only ate these 2 things.
Not as much of that. It's a lot of there's just some Asian.
The Chinese thing that a Chinese person has never.
I don't know which one it is.
He's brought me everything. Oh, God.
You've done vital work. Take the whole stack. Let him live his life. You're good.
He's going to play video games. That's fine.
What game is he playing?
What game are you playing right now, babe?
Actually, I was just watching a Nintendo Direct. They're coming out with some Mario collections.
Nintendo Direct is coming out with some Mario collections.
No, well, Nintendo is coming out.
Nintendo is. You're right. Nintendo Direct.
Of course. Do you guys have a Switch?
We do. Oh, go. Yeah.
But of course, because you're Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Amber Preston worked my Animal Crossing person in the Animal Crossing stand-up show that I did with Jenny Yang.
Yeah, that was really fun.
You were my puppeteer.
Yes.
So I am talking to Amber Preston, by the way. Let me just talk about it's Preston Party on Instagram and Twitter, and the album is called Sparkly Parts.
Yeah.
And she is thumbing through a cookbook.
Well, right now I'm thumbing through a kitchen bouquet from Grace Gourmet.
Sure. A bouquet from a gourmet? Good
This
for
is
her.
a combined Women's Missionary Fellowship of Grace Community Church. That is a lot of words from where this is from. That one is not the one I want. I do make some of them sometimes. So I've started because I talk so much about them to people that I've started to make every once in a while. Like I'm tiptoeing in to, like, I made a Jell-O cottage cheese celery
like that
situation, but I didn't put pimentos in it because
you aren't a mad woman.
Yeah. So I figure if I'm going to talk about it, I need to.
Cheese Jell-O dessert, that's plenty.
Yeah.
Doesn't need pimentos for a touch of salt. It's like people who salt their watermelon. It's something. Andy's entire family is from Mississippi.
Yeah.
And they do weird things like salt watermelon. Because a little salty, a little sweet.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's
my grandpa used to. Well, don't you ever get the fruit like here, and you put the chili and the lime juice? That's got a bit of saltiness to it.
Yeah. That's I've had that with, but I got that from a cart from an older Mexican gentleman.
Yeah.
And I said, "What am I supposed to do?" And he said, "You're supposed to do whatever you want with it. You just gave me $4." And I was like, "No. But what would be the traditional thing?"
Right.
And he looked at me. He's like, "Well, you'd put the chili on it."
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. And then I did that, and it was good for a while, and then it got super hot.
Yeah.
And I stopped doing it. And then I ate just regular watermelon because there was a lot of it for $4.
Yeah.
And then I went back to the chili. It's a great story, Amber. Let me tell it again. What I did, I was on the corner.
You mean you
Rock.
don't have any tahine in your cabinet right now for your own watermelon?
Not for my own uses. Though we do have watermelon coming in the garden.
Wait, pause. Like you've got yourself a giant Victory COVID garden.
We got a Victory garden. We've been at war for 25 years, so I've had a Victory garden for at least 15 years.
Are you really? You've been gardening this whole time?
This whole time I've been gardening. This year's a particularly good one because I'm home and I can actually look at it and fiddle and diddle and then put some nutrients back in. And it's been...
What, do you compost? Do you put your banana peels in the garden?
Sure, we do some... Well, what I do is we used to compost, and then... And our composting, you're supposed to turn it over, and you're supposed to water it. You're supposed to do a lot of things to it. What we have is what's called a midden, and it's just a pile of garbage. And what I do is I bury it. Essentially, when it gets too much, I just bury it in the garden, and then I plant things in a different part of the backyard. That part, while it disintegrates over a year, and then I plant there the next year.
Wow! Do you get to plant? Do you garden all year long?
You can. There are things that I do grow, like herbs and stuff. You can grow all year long, and I also do collard and Swiss chard. All year long. So
I had no idea.
It just grows.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about the earth: incredibly forgiving.
Right.
Angry now. Would really like us to really fuck off.
Right.
I am sympathetic, but I can't be supportive.
Right.
I'm still living here.
Yeah. We kind of need this a little bit.
Yeah, we're so sorry.
Yeah.
Just to the earth. Very, very, very sorry.
Gosh,
I will continue to live here.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have an option. And if there is an option that's available to us, I won't be able to afford it. So
exactly. But here, Amber Preston, here's my next question about vintage cookbooks. Are there sometimes stories in them about
Oh yes,
that's what I want to hear. I want to hear the mama stories. Tell me.
Yes, there's always often, if it's a church cookbook, for sure. Go back. Well, where's that church one?
Are they stories about the baby Jesus, or are they stories?
No, they often have a. This one's the collector's cookbook. That's this one's a bit fancier. This is the Friends of the Minneapolis Institute of Arts. So sometimes I'll just get them if they are a connection to Minnesota or North Dakota or something. But okay, let's get back to a church one, because they're not like here's baby Jesus and wasn't he great. They're more like, this is how you as the woman of the house must maintain your home with love and Jesus. Look at this pretty one. This is let's take potluck. Isn't that beautiful? It's
beautiful. And I hate potluck. I'm not a fan of it. What
This one's 1965.
Dedication? Is there a dedication?
The members of the Women's Auxiliary of St. Peter's Church present potluck. And this is then there's a history of the St. Peter's Church Grant at Elm, Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Okay.
We have a lovely history. And then the history of the church continues. And then they often start with a kitchen prayer. And they're either super religious or kind of kitschy. Like
Or
this
funny,
one's like,
or
right,
they
like
think it's hilarious.
Right, like lords of all pots and pans and things, since I've no time to be a saint by doing lovely things. Like you get it. Like it's,
No,
it's like,
read it.
okay.
It. I want to hear the prayer.
Okay. Lord of all pots and pans and things, since I've no time to be a saint by doing lovely things or watching late with thee or dreaming in the dawnlight or storming heaven's gates. Well, that's a lot of work. Make me a saint by getting meals and washing up the place. Okay. So you can either like storm heaven's gates,
Right.
or you can do dishes.
You can do dishes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then, although I must have Martha's hands, I have a merry mind. And when I blacken the boots and shoes, thy sandals, Lord, I find. I think of how they trod the earth, what time I scrubbed the floor. Accept this meditation, Lord, I haven't time for more. That's the second of 3 verses. So long.
Oh my God. That's a long one. That's,
You get
so that seems plenty.
Yeah,
Like
that's
the beginning of this Hagop, and yes, that's right. It's the Saint Hagop Armenian Apostolic Church.
Is that where you went when you were a young person?
No, this is actually the South Milwaukee Armenian cookbook. Not as good.
Oh, I won't tell.
Everyone was like, literally, old women were like, "You got to get the Armenian Church in Racine's cookbook. That's the one you got to get." Because if that's the one that has the right recipe.
Right. Interesting. Oh, the shade.
Who knew? Right.
Yeah.
Super shady and super and so shaming to the women, to my grandmother who went to the South Milwaukee and my great aunt who goes to the Glendale Armenian Church.
Oh, God.
But this one says, Lord, guide the work we do with our hands and make the work of our hands succeed.
Oh, see, that's a good one. There's
That's
also
succinct.
a lot of recipes in the collection of recipes, that one we looked at earlier. The first one is a favorite recipe. Take a cup of kindness, mix it well with love, and a lot of patience and faith in God above, sprinkled generously with joy and thanks and cheer, and you'll have lots of angel food to feast on all year.
Ooh, and then there's an angel food recipe?
That's just like at the beginning, the little prayers at the beginning.
Oh, sure.
But they do sneak in sometimes, like how the recipe for a happy home, and it's like a cup of faith, a cup of joy,
Right, and a pile of food.
Right.
And so, okay, and then what happens is so this thing has it'll have the recipe. But get this, they'll do like a page.
History on the person who wrote the recipe.
Yep.
Oh, that's a treasure. That book is
right. This is Saranush Bogosian, and then her maiden name in parentheses, just in case you knew her as an Akisian. Just in case. You might...
Oh, wait, is that Sarah Akisian?
It's Sarah. Yeah, it's Sarah Akisian.
Oh, okay, good.
It's Sarah Noosh, which is so funny because we don't know if she was called Sarah, or if she was. And Noosh in Armenian means sweet.
Oh.
Sweet Sarah Akisian.
Sweet Sarah. Oh.
That's what they named her.
So is it a picture of her as a young woman, an old woman? What do you got there?
Oh no, none of these old ladies had any pictures because they were all born in the 1800s.
Okay.
She was born in 1907 in Chomaklu, and her parents were Parseg and Filiani Akisian.
Yeah.
At the age of 8, she and her family experienced the hardships of the Turkish massacres in 1915.
Oh, just to bring some, bring it down a touch.
But it doesn't matter because 100 years later, she taught us how to make spaghetti.
Oh my God. Spaghetti. In your cookbook, your mom's cooking, is there in the Midwest church cookbooks, there's often multiple pages of just bars, like lemon bars, pecan bars, caramel, is there an equivalent to that in the Armenian?
Let's see. There's blessedly. Oh no, and here's the weird thing: they don't have it separated. In the context, they don't tell you what they don't have it separated. They have it separated by the name of the person, so that you can look up the old lady.
So you got to be like, okay, Sweet Sarah Oh, sweets. I bet she brought a lot of good sweets. We should.
Right, you
look her
remember
up.
the Agbalalians or whatever the fuck. But you can, I mean, here's the good
Can
news.
you look in the back? Does the back have a tell you?
Have an index.
Yeah, that's the word I couldn't think of.
Let's see. That's okay. They do have them separate. They have them into like side dishes and salads.
Okay, sure.
So they do have it separated into something like that, but you don't. You have to be like, will we eat that as a main dish?
Right.
Is it?
Right.
Are you sure it's a side dish?
Yeah, and I don't like ever remember my mom like flipping to the table of contents and going, "Well, let me find those cookies." Like you've kind of just always flipped through it.
And then here's the meat dishes.
Meat dishes.
And on the bottom, there's a thing that says Church Modoc serves 80 to 100 people.
Oh, yes. And they often have like, the regular cookbooks will have like coffee for 100, potato salad for 100. But then I got, okay, so these, I got to show you my 3 favorites first. Okay, that one's a good one for later. Okay, well, this is, okay, no, what we're talking about now. Oh, I get too excited. So again, because I talk about these, my cousin, I think to me, this is like such a Midwest thing. My cousin sent me a text with a bunch of pictures of cookbooks. Hey, do you want any of these? We're cleaning out my mother-in-law's house.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to throw them. If you want them, I'll send them to you. And I picked out 2. I don't need a bunch of them, but there's 2 that look kind of interesting.
Yep.
So we've had a conversation. Yes, please. And thank you. I would love these. She sends them to me with a note that's like, you can throw these if you want to, Rochelle. And I'm like, well, no, wait, I don't want to throw them. That's the whole point.
I picked 2 that I wanted to keep.
Yeah.
And they're family ones. So they have that kind of awesome history.
Oh, hey, Amber, hope you enjoy these. If they aren't anything you want, don't feel bad throwing them. Well, yeah. Okay. I wouldn't tell you.
That is such a classic sort of Midwest, it's a real salt of the earth kind of sentence because it's like, no problem throwing them.
Yeah.
It's like, that isn't a sentence.
Right.
That's actually not the sentence structure.
You stopped before you finished.
Right.
Yeah.
You needed a noun or something.
Yeah.
And in Milwaukee, there was I remember when I was a kid, there was a thing in the paper that made fun of how people in Milwaukee talk.
Yeah.
And it was because you would sometimes say, throw the baby down the stairs a cookie. First of all, why are you throwing cookies at people?
Right. I mean, it's not the worst thing, but
but throw the baby down the stairs a cookie?
Throw the baby down the stairs a cookie. I mean, I'm sure that there's a lot of that in my own upbringing that I've just forgotten.
You will be saying them as we talk. So what are the recipes you like to make, you say? Or the favorite ones?
So the 2 favorite books. Oh, my mom often said, you got to imagine it's your shoe on the foot. That's one. I was like if you imagine you're walking in someone else's shoes.
Your shoe on the foot?
You got to imagine it's your shoe on the foot.
Oh, interesting. Wouldn't it be your foot in the shoe?
Exactly. There you go.
She's a lovely lady. Okay.
She's a wonderful woman who makes lovely Coogan. Not like you're going to find anyway, you get it. So my 2 favorites from my cousin Rochelle, and they're written by the same people, Janet Martin and Alan Todnam. And I have to tell, okay, so this is church basement, Lutheran church basement women, lutefisk, lefse, lunch, and jello. And the cover is just all illustrate like old, grumpy old ladies. Just fine. Take my picture. There couldn't be more of them. And then Cream and Bread, same couple, and there's just an angry toddler on the front. And I just on eBay bid on the second helpings, more Cream and Bread, $2.98. I got out of that auction. I'm going to have to get another one of these because this one's falling apart.
$5 in
shipping. Yeah. But I was reading these and for a minute I didn't quite get, but these are like actually funny. Like they are accurate, but they've got funny. Like these people are trying to be funny. Like this one, the Cream and Bread doesn't really have so many recipes as much as it is like essays and little anecdotes. The very first poem. This is dedicated to anyone who has ever eaten cream and bread. Okay, well that's a lot. That's a lot of people. But the part 1, the very first thing. This sums up who I am as a person. The very first thing is there's an illustration with grumpy. Look at this. It's a man and a wife. He's sitting on the couch, and she's got flabby bingo wing arms, and they're just 2 people. That's the illustration. And then the
You aspire to this? Is that what I'm? You just want to stand behind him, arms folded, just looking infuriated.
Yep, sort of.
Okay.
Just, is this over yet? The first poem is chapter 1, The Diary of Lars Olsen, and the poem is, keep it to yourself. It isn't that bad. No one should know if you're happy or sad.
Wow. There's a Lex Luthor. He was the founder of Lutheranism, right?
I think so. So that one's more anecdotes, and that's just like where I don't know if your family's the same way. I don't know what Armenian Midwest culture is like, but were you allowed to have feelings growing up? Is that a thing in your house?
There was no reason not to, but there wasn't any reason to. We weren't encouraged. They were like, it wasn't going to help.
Right.
So why bother?
Right. That
Right.
seems fair.
Do you have-
The other one.
You gonna have a temper tantrum?
Oh, yeah.
Is there a purpose for that?
Right.
What's
What
that
are you
gonna-
crying about?
What's that going to do for you? It's not going to do anything.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, oh, all right.
guess-
Well,
I mean,
it's not going to.
You're
You were
kind of
correct.
right.
Yeah.
Why don't you cry about it? Is another fun one. It's like, well,
My dead mother used to say, "You want something to cry about?" That was a classic from
Yeah.
the early '70s.
Yeah.
And then there was hitting.
yeah, I'll give
so,
you,
yeah.
a knuckle sandwich. I'll give you something to cry about.
I'll
I was
give you
never,
something.
I never ate a knuckle sandwich, but I feel like those words were definitely said in my house.
Probably with more love.
Right. Yeah, it was like that. And then the other book Rochelle gave me is The Lutheran Church Basement Women. And this one does have recipes. And this one is, again, it's meant to be humorous, but it's more like a history of these women. And there's a whole section. Did I put a Post-it note on it? On types of Lutheran church basement women, Lutheran ladies aid etiquette, like where is it? This is my favorite. This is Lutheran ladies aid etiquette. If someone gives you a compliment on the food you prepared, a proper response would be, "It wasn't much then. Keep it humble and nobody will think you are a show off." That's good. Oh yeah, potato salad for 100. Yep.
Oh wait, yeah. Please read that recipe.
Boil up. Okay. Oh, I get it. Boil up 32 pounds of potatoes. I thought it was
Excellent.
up to. Just boil up 32 pounds of potatoes. Chill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Add 4 bunches of celery, 4 dozen hard-boiled eggs,
Wow.
8 green peppers, pickles. Doesn't tell me pickles, salad dressing, salt and pepper to taste. Recipe can be doubled for big crowds. This is already for 100.
Okay, can I tell you that I have for the church Modoc, this is
Yeah.
a meat recipe, 35 to
Okay.
40 pounds of beef chuck roast or a more tender cut of beef stew. Cut into 1-inch cubes, 40 pounds. Cut those
my
into
God.
1-inch cubes, salt, red and black pepper, paprika, a pound of butter. Just 1 pound of butter for 40
Just
pounds.
one?
That's not bad.
That
actually
seems
not
like
that
you
bad.
could do a little more. Yeah.
Yeah, 20 to 22 pounds of onions. Peeled and cut into large chunks, 6 or 7 cans of tomato paste, 12 ounces each. And then beef bouillon for flavor.
Yeah, I love that. Like some of those things, like a little too much. Like how much paprika? How much bouillon? You just
we
got to
don't-
keep tasting
we don't have
it.
we don't know how much salt, pepper, or paprika to put in. That
And
is
what
true.
what kind of scales do they have in their kitchens? They just have these like you're just weighing out. 40
You will enjoy
pounds.
this sentence. Wash and drain the meat in a colander. Misspelled. Divide into 3 large pans. We use the dark blue enamel pans at church.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know exactly which pans you're talking about. My mom only uses it for noodles at home, and you better not use it for anything else.
Do not add water. The meat will give off its own liquid. Cover and cook, stirring every once in a while with a wooden spoon. Once in a while.
Once in a while.
Until the meat looks and feels like it's almost cooked. Add salt and peppers and a general sprinkle of paprika.
Yeah.
There's no sprinkling with 40 pounds of meat. You have to handful some serious paprika.
And then it's almost done. Like you guys is almost done.
Divide
Go.
the butter and onions evenly into the 3 pans. Stir, cover, and cook until the onions are almost soft.
Oh, I get it because you don't have a pan big enough for the 35.
just-
Yeah, sure.
When reheating the Modoc on top of the stove, don't use a high flame. Take care that it doesn't burn on the bottom. Stir
Yeah.
often. Again, adjust salt and pepper and add a little hot water if the sauce has gotten too thick.
Oh.
Serve with bulgur pilaf, Armenian tossed salad, and bread.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't want to serve it with rice pilaf. What are you, some
No.
kind of animal?
Yeah.
All right.
What's an Armenian pilaf?
An Armenian salad? An Armenian's, an Armenian, Wisconsin Armenian, it says bulgur pilaf.
Bulgur. Okay.
Yeah, bulgur, you're just using bulgur instead of rice.
Right.
An Armenian tossed salad
Is
is iceberg lettuce.
oh yes. Hello.
Yes, and wishbone Italian dressing.
Oh,
With some, I don't know.
is
some
there a
winter
carrot shred?
tomatoes.
Maybe.
No,
Oh, okay.
there's a winter
No.
tomato and some more onions,
Oh God.
just in
Yeah, yeah,
case
yeah.
you wanted some more onions.
Just a touch more. Oh God. Hey, did you ever have walking tacos?
No, what are
You know,
walking
the
tacos?
walking tacos. I do crave this every once in a while. You take a bag of corn chips and
Okay.
either cut the top off or the long way, and that's your carrying case. And then so that's at the front of the line of food. And then you grab your bag of chips that's cut open, or some nice lady would hand them to you. And then you go to the next station, which is a crock pot of taco meat, and then you put in a scoop of taco meat, and then you
Into
put
the
it
bag.
into the bag. That's
Are-
how you
are
walk with them.
Is this a small, like a sort of individual bag of
Yeah, a fun size bag.
Fritos?
I
They're
mean,
like
you
Fritos
could do
is
a
what
big
you're
one. Yeah,
talking about.
Fritos. Yep.
Okay.
And then, I mean, you could do Doritos if you want, but let's not get crazy.
Yeah, don't go
And,
crazy.
yeah, Fritos. Yeah. What are you, a show off? Did we learn nothing from the and then a scoop of the meat, and then a scoop of iceberg lettuce, scoop of shredded Colby Jack, and then a scoop of sour cream, and maybe some tomatoes or salsa if you're fancy.
Right.
And then
there might
You
be.
walk around.
Yeah, and then you just walk around with a spoon or a fork and eat
Yep.
out of that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, except
Yeah.
for how weird it is.
Yeah, but it sounds good, right?
Yeah, no, that's
mean-
you're just like, that would be, if I were still babysitting for children, that would be a thing that I would make for children because they would find it fun
Yeah.
and also it's super edible.
Yeah. And oh God, the cleanup's so easy, and then like Judy brings the meat, someone else brings the lettuce, someone else brings, but we
shredded.
we don't let Barb bring the salsa because she makes it too spicy,
Oh,
like
not too
something-
spicy.
not too spicy. Back to the 100 pounds
Yes,
of
please.
things. The Lutheran Church Basement Women Cookbook also has a funeral and other dead spread section.
Dead spread.
Because-
called dead spread.
Dead spread. Well, that's what it's like. Did your church growing up? Didn't the church ladies always have a specific lunch for after funerals?
Yeah.
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 That's the dead spread.
Oh
And
my God. The words dead spread are the greatest words in the world.
Yeah.
Please read aloud.
so let's see. We've got, there's funeral spreads. This is just general bologna filling, cheese spread. Hello. Not a lot of cheese in there. It's cooked eggs, pimento. Okay. How do you get a half a pound of grated American cheese? Have you ever met an American cheese that you could
that
grate?
came in a block? No.
Yeah.
Only like sort of plastic individually wrapped.
I mean, I remember trying to grate the giant thing of Velveeta growing up to make melty. Okay, funeral meat. A sandwich filling always used for lunches at funerals, used on buns or bread. 3 pounds. Yeah,
Mix
3
it
pounds.
up,
mincemeat.
mix it
yeah,
up.
Yeah. A lot of hard-boiled eggs. God, these women must have just spent their whole lives
Just
peeling
eggs.
peeling eggs. You'd think they'd have stronger arms. Okay, here we go. So this also has a breakdown of sandwich secrets.
Sandwich secret.
Yeah, use bread 1 day old. This is good. Use plenty of filling and spread to edge. Yeah, no shit, Barb.
Right. Don't be
Don't be
stingy.
No, God.
Yeah, the word stingy. I haven't used that in the
No. Let butter stand 1 hour at room temperature and cream thoroughly. Do not melt butter. I can get behind that one. You want a soft butter.
Oh, you want a soft butter, but not a melted butter.
Not
That's
a
what
melted
you
butter.
want.
Yeah. But then my favorite thing is it has funeral plates. So it breaks it down with German Lutheran funeral plate. That's hard to say. German
Oh my gosh.
Lutheran funeral plate and Scandinavian Lutheran funeral plate. That's where I ride the line. I've got both. And my heritage. I'm a mixed race there.
Yeah, I sense that. You're just like you're slightly whiter on one side.
Yep.
Good for you. Good for
Yeah,
you. What is the difference between these
Okay, let's see.
funeral
German
spreads?
has
Thank you.
bratwurst, beans, chips, pickles, cakes, coffee. That
Okay.
sounds like an upset stomach a little bit. And then Scandinavian has hot dish, dish, pickles, cake, and coffee. So
Hot dish being casserole. Just
right,
so
which
the
is like
world
the
knows.
yeah.
Yes.
Are there people that don't know that? I suppose.
There are, I
Yeah.
suppose, right? Because I am from Wisconsin. We never called it, well, southern Wisconsin never called it hot dish. We called it casserole.
Casserole. Did you ever
And-
say goulash?
We there was a lot of goulash
Yeah.
talk. Yes.
Yeah.
What about do you have hot dish recipes in there?
Yes, and then
It was Jenny Yang came on and talked about a tuna fish casserole that she had never had until she went to college or somewhere, and
hot dishes
so,
51.
yeah.
Okay.
please
Oh,
look up some
God.
hot dish because I was trying to explain to her
Look at this
about
picture
Nancy
of these
Cation.
ladies. Oh,
Those
come on,
ladies are
focus.
Very nice, nice.
Yeah.
work, nice
Oh,
work.
yeah.
Those
A
are
lot
some
of big
ladies.
bowls. Just ladies.
Yeah,
Make some
those
hot
are,
dish.
those
Okay.
are some nice house dresses.
Did you explain to her about tuna hot dish?
She explained to me about tuna hot dish. Here's what I don't ever want: tuna fish in a can that has been made hot. It's not for me. Mixed with
egg noodles and peas and chips on
Yeah.
top.
Yeah.
That was one of the first beginning of COVID. The last show I did was March 12th or 11th in Chicago. And then I was going to do Laugh Fest in Michigan that weekend. And I was hanging out with my sister in Chicago. And then the shows were Friday, Saturday, and Thursday morning. They were like, I think we got to call it. Okay, so I came home and we were like, oh God, I guess we got to buy all the groceries. What is the world is ending. So we bought all these egg noodles and tuna and all these things that keep forever. And I made the biggest tuna casserole, hot dish goulash.
How do you
and
do
it's
it? How do you
so
do you-
comfort food. I mean, you'll get yourself some egg noodles, some tuna, some cream and mushroom soup, some
Okay,
peas.
so it's like a quiche, right? Where you make the noodles and then you add the rest. You cook, and then you put it together, and then
Yeah.
you bake it, right?
Right. And then you put crumple potato chips. I
Sure
like
you
the
do.
wavy ones on top, but
Do
you
you?
just
Just for texture? Is that
for
the way it's
texture.
done?
Yeah, they were a
Did you
bit
put
sturdier.
that on your Instagram, which is at Preston Party?
No, I should have, but it's like you scooping it out. It's like you got to engage your core because it's just dense, and makes that awful, gross noise, and but it's good.
Sucking noise.
Yeah,
Yes.
we should try it.
Should I revisit the tuna casserole?
Maybe.
Nancy Cation would make it, and she
Yeah.
was like, nobody. It was. I think she made it because she was trying to lose weight, and she didn't want. She knew she wouldn't eat it.
Oh, I was gonna say by eating pasta and cream of mushroom soup.
Well, she would. She didn't sit for probably 7 years.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that was a classic mom.
Right.
And there were 6. We had 6 chairs,
Yeah.
and then she would always sit on the stool for some reason, and you're
Oh.
like, "What are you doing?"
Because she always forgets something. Oh, I got to go grab. Who you
Right,
need more of
everybody.
this?
Oh, you need more of that. And
Yeah.
then make sure everybody has enough cherry Kool-Aid in their
Sure.
glass during dinner.
Yes.
Like,
More of the wishbone dress. Some more. Anybody need some French dressing, which is watered down ketchup? I don't
right,
know
and
what
then
that.
of course a dessert was always like a 5-pound thing of ice cream. That was the only dessert she would.
Did you often have dessert growing up?
I think we had dessert on weekends, like Saturday.
Like the big
But
big weekend dinner.
and then for your birthday, she would make you. She would. You could have any cake you wanted, and she would make a cake. And,
Was she good at she could make whatever you wanted?
She could make whatever you wanted, and it was mixed reviews as far as how good it was. My brother Phil, whose birthday was the July 4th, and we didn't have air conditioning in Milwaukee, of course.
Yeah.
And
Steamy.
but he always wanted a strawberry whipped cream cake,
Mm.
and it was delicious, and it was always a mess. It always melted, and it didn't matter. I, who didn't have any toys, would always want a store-bought cake with toys on top.
Yeah.
So that I could have toys.
Oh, I like your angle.
Yeah, that was my angle, and I was like, I don't even, because the cake was always disgusting.
Oh yeah.
It was always
Grocery
just-
store sheet cake with a frosting that's basically plastic.
It was just a plastic cake, and I was like, yeah, but give me those rockets. The
Yeah.
rockets. One time I had Cowboys and Indians. One time I had rockets. Yeah, it was a cry for help, is what it was.
Yeah.
But do you
Power
have
done.
a hot dish recipe in there
Oh, sure.
that you could read for the
let's see.
Rangers?
Canned chicken rice. Let me find a good one. Oh, this one. This might be where I should get my hot dish recipe. This is a book called Casserole Magic, and it's 300 recipes for the best one dish meals. And this one is very delicate. This one is published in 1953.
Oh, that is.
So it's maybe not like the most Midwesty. Oh, okay, but here's one. It's maybe not a hot dish, but it is from the Casserole Magic book. Oh, they're both good. Okay, this one is called. I don't think you're going to want to try it.
We have time, by the way. You can read both.
Okay, great. This one is called Hot Fish Mousse. And I don't know.
Mousse
Is a pound of fresh salmon or halibut, a half cup soft breadcrumbs, a cup of milk, a half a cup of heavy cream. I'm on board so far. 6 egg whites, stiffly beaten, 2 cups. Oh, and then there's a lobster sauce, 2 cups rich cream sauce. Well, how do you make the cream sauce? 6 egg yolks and a pound of cooked lobster or crab meat. This is an exceptionally delicate fish dish.
This is fish and lobster.
Yeah.
So it's salmon and lobster together, or white fish and lobster together.
Yeah, you put fish twice through the food chopper, use the finest blade. It's like, and then you soak the breadcrumbs in milk, add fish. So you're making like a mousse, a fish.
Yeah, you're making a pudding. You're making a trifle.
And the next page has Norwegian fish pudding, because you don't want to. That one has onions and bay leaf.
Did you ever see Babette's Feast?
No.
It is a food. It is a Norwegian food movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to see it.
Is it good? And does it make you hungry?
It's no, it weirds you out. It is an amazing food movie, quite honestly. It got, I think, Oscars and stuff. 1989.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Babette's
Feast. Are you a tater tot hot dish kind of family or fan?
No, but let's read it. Let's hear it.
Oh, I gotta find it.
Because the thing is it's easy enough. You take a bag of tater tots, and then you put a bunch of like peas and onions.
I will not have you mocking the art of hot dish and goulash.
True. This is a safe space. This is
yeah.
Space. Yes.
Do you like lima beans?
They're okay. What do you do with a lima bean?
Well, some people put them in their tater tot hot dish.
Do they?
Yeah. This is for
canned?
you.
Is that a canned?
Yeah. Oh, it's a bag in the freezer.
Freezer.
I hadn't seen this. This one's got a bookmark of a pope. Okay, good deal. That's bonus.
We got Pope?
Pope Benedict 16.
All right. What year was?
I don't know.
What year did his albums come out?
Yeah, he looks pretty. This picture looks pretty new. Tuna noodle. Oh,
there it is.
Bake. 4 cups noodles cooked. Noodles of your choice. 1 can tuna, size of your choice. 1/4 a cup diced green pepper. 1/4 a cup pimento chops. 1 small onion chop. Salt. Can of cream of mushroom soup. Can of mushrooms, including liquid.
Okay.
A cup of cheese grated. Again, doesn't say what kind of cheese. Heat oven to 425. Combine all ingredients using only half the cheese. Pour into greased baking dish. Sprinkle with remaining cheese. Bake 20 minutes. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. Please define for me. Too many times have I heard the word. Too many times do I not know what the hell it is. What is a pimento? Is it the red thing that's in
the olive? That's has no flavor.
Right. That's so weird.
So I don't.
Where do you buy just pimentos? I wonder.
I think buy the olives, but it doesn't seem like anything super great. We got some I've stumbled in this book on the ethnic section because I got Mexican casserole, enchilada casserole, Mexican lasagna.
Mexican lasagna sounds good, actually.
Yeah, that's just ground beef, onion, green chilies, black olive, sour cream.
Taco lasagna, essentially, right?
But there's cottage cheese, and I don't know how I feel about that.
They've gone north.
Yeah.
They've gone to Canada instead of...
Yeah. 1 apiece meatloaves. I don't know what that means. Oriental meatballs.
Oh, great. Is it also a rug?
Beef brisket. Quick beef goulash. Here's one for you. Quick beef goulash. 1.5 pounds chuck cubed. Package onion soup mix. Tomato paste, water, brown chuck in Dutch oven. Stir in soup mix. Add tomato paste and water. Simmer hour and a half. Serve over noodles. Okay, that doesn't sound too bad.
That actually, that onion soup mix, you could actually just use garlic powder, onion powder, and onions.
Oh, God.
And that instead of an onion soup mix. And there's So what's the meatball situation? Meatball and
They're all just like variations of meat with like sometimes it'll be like put some chow mein noodles on top and that's makes it that or put chilies in it and that's
Spanish.
Yeah, that's how that one goes. They're just I want to find you a recipe for a happy home because I mean not that you're lacking in mother's cake. Here's mother's cake. 1 pound honest affection and love. So is that a half a pound of each or 1 pound unselfishness and kindness? 1 pound harmony, orderliness, and beauty. And then in parentheses, true love. I don't know what that means.
Wow, that's weird.
1 pound perfect trust and confidence. Not just trust, but like perfect trust. 1 pound cheerfulness and good humor. Sprinkle well with tenderness and patience. Mix all of these well with the oil of sympathy and contentment and keep in a bright, happy, and well lived in home. And then in all caps, this cake will endure all others if bakes well all your life. Wow. That is a sentence.
That is something. I am looking to see if there are even...
Yeah, do you have prayers or like how you keep a happy home and that how did the moms keep a happy home in the
what I was hoping for was I was looking for desserts, but I found this, which was not only the glossary, uniquely Armenian.
I need to know about that.
Well, this is you can make mas for church butterrock anytime.
Wait, what? You can make what? Mas for church butter?
I think that's bread. Anyway, anytime an Armenian mother kneads dough and just before setting it aside to rise, she makes an indentation of the cross with the side of her hand on top of the dough. This gesture asks for the Virgin Mary's help in making her efforts a success. The same is true when she stirs milk to make madzun. The sign of the cross is made with the spoon over the milk. Madzun is yogurt.
Okay.
I did not know that. I've been making yogurt in quarantine as well.
Oh, in the Instapot or just stovetop?
In the Instapot, actually. We have an R2D2 Instapot.
Yeah, I love it.
Very glamorous.
Yes.
The Armenian herb garden consists mainly of parsley, mint, and almost always basil. The basil has a religious significance going back to the time of the exaltation of the cross. You remember.
Yeah.
Anyway, as the cross...
How could I forget?
As the cross made its way slowly back from Persia to Jerusalem, it was said to be decorated with roses and basil. Today, people bring their garden basil to be used in church during this religious holiday, and it's passed out to the congregation. Also, another must in the garden is the grapevine. We cannot have sarma without dadev.
Well, obviously.
You can't. You can't do it without grape leaves. You can't wrap anything in a grape leaf if you don't have grape leaves. Anyway, so I get that, but I'm not finding... there's blessed bread used only for church butterrock, and that is called mas. There you go. Anyway.
Oh gosh. Oh, here's in the Lutheran Church Basement Women chili con carne. It's like beef, pork, lard, chili powder, salt, onion, kidney beans, tomatoes, black pepper. But then underneath, it's got a little like an international dish served by Lutheran Church Basement Women. This was never too spicy for the young who can handle chili powder. Like, okay.
Oh, the young.
The young. They also like, there's a really, where was it? There was one in here that was like throwing shade. It was something about like spicy food and like, somebody like came for like they had moved away and they came back and it was like Barb brought this spicy recipe, but good hardworking Lutherans don't have time to have upset stomachs, so we don't partake in that. We don't do that.
In the back of this book, there's an Armenian card game. Do you have any sort of weird card games?
No card games.
That sounds like wow. There's
just more dead spread information. Just one card game. That's all they tell you.
It's called the Armenian card game Karasun, which literally means 40. Was a favorite pastime of our parents. It's groups of 4 to 6. Company because the company came to the house to visit. Women and men played it.
Oh,
come on! They get quite animated! Exclamation point.
Ooh.
Good-natured teasing and laughter while the table is set with food and coffee.
Oh.
In the 40s, 50s, and 60s, the men loved to congregate after working on Saturdays at the clubhouse and play Karzun as well as backgammon. The losers always treated the winners to coffee and a Hershey bar.
Oh gosh.
Not
So if
even
you were,
kidding.
that sounds great. I could go for coffee and a Hershey bar. I've got, I like that. Now this is just like, I see your card game and raise you hot dish for 100. Boy, that seems like a very broad term. Okay.
How do you do that?
Only 1/4 cup shortening, 3 quarts of tomatoes, 3 cans of green beans, 3 number 2 cans corn. I don't know what a number 2 can.
So cans of corn, green beans, and tomatoes.
And then 5 pounds of ground beef.
Okay.
And then 50 average size potatoes.
Okay. Oh, that's filling out some.
Yeah. 5 pounds macaroni, 3 bunches of celery, and then 3 medium onions. Didn't we have onions already?
No,
we didn't. Okay.
Onions.
And then
onions.
just 30 medium onions.
30 onions.
30,
Good.
heaven forbid. And then underneath, carrots can be maybe added if desired, or if you have to stretch it.
Hey, Rich and Rich.
Yeah, and then it says this is a good standby for funerals too, especially funerals of members who are in good standing and well liked by most.
Because it's a lot of food. Those potatoes are really going to make that stretch out.
Yeah. Oh, here's one. Nut Devil's food. If you're on a committee for the festival, you won't have enough time to make this. Don't even bother. I like the little
If you're on a committee,
you won't have time. You won't have time for it. Oh, add paprika to fancy it up a bit. Okay, that's
okay. All right.
Oh God. Oh, what about how do you feel about sweet and savory mixed together, like ham, pineapple, and sweet potato? You know what I mean? Like
Andy likes it. Not much of a fan, but let's hear it. I want to hear.
You ham, pineapple, and sweet potato. Oh, this is for harvest festivals. Foods placed as usually remembered. What is this sentence? Foods placed as usually remembered on table. What does that mean?
There is, again, just throw it if you need to be throwing it out, or throwing it.
If you need, throw the baby down the stairs and hit it with a cookie. Half an inch, no, one inch sliced ham, 1 number 2 can sliced pineapple, 3 sweet potatoes, cloves, mustard, brown sugar. I don't understand this. Is it a hot dish? Place ham in pan, sprinkle with cloves, mustard, brown sugar, cover with slices of pineapple, cut sweet potatoes lengthwise, which have been cooked and peeled. You see, now why wouldn't you say cook and peel sweet potatoes? And then
because you got to throw that cookie to the baby that's downstairs.
Right.
Okay.
Dip in fat and place around ham. Well, there's a sentence I can get behind. Cover with pineapple juice.
In the fat, and then cover it all with pineapple juice.
And then bake. That seems like a lot of flavors happening, and
it seems a little busy.
Yeah. Seems a little acidic. It's going to give me just a little
heartburn.
Heartburn. Lutefisk suppers. I like that they also like if there's lutefisk, it's a lutefisk supper. Like it doesn't.
That is.
You don't need a whole section.
Tell the people we're almost at an hour here.
Yeah,
Please describe a lutefisk. How do you make lutefisk in this thing?
I don't know how you make it, but it looks like egg whites with chunks, and it tastes.
That is the best, most polite description of what it looks like. I've always said that it looks like spit. It looks like mucus.
Oh, yeah.
That is got floating whitefish in it, because I believe it is baked and then boiled.
Yeah, and there's poison involved. I don't know. There's lye involved.
That is poison.
Yeah, I think maybe just was the one thing that survived winters in Scandinavia, and
right. It was very cold, and you just you had to eat something, and there's plenty of fish available.
Oh, I think I found the winner here of the church basement lutefisk feeds. Oh, like lutefisk feeds. That's the event, not just like it feeds someone. If there were ever justification for second helpings, it was at the annual church basement lutefisk feeds. I don't know about that.
Let's hear it.
Lutefisk dinner for $1,200. $1,200. This is how many pounds of lutefisk do you think you need? Lutefisk.
For $1,200?
Yeah.
That's got to be 120 pounds?
600 pounds
of fish.
That's like you could die. You could drown in that. 400 pounds of meatballs,
Wow.
116 pounds of butter. Hello. 600 pounds of potatoes. 276 cans of corn. How did they figure this out?
You know, what's interesting is, okay, I'm just going to make it for a family of 4. What's the math on that? How do I?
Let me see. How many gallons? I need 40 gallons of cold slaw for 1,200. We're having Barb and Tim over for dinner.
Maybe I'll just get 1 head of cabbage.
Yeah, that seems right. 60 dozen buns, 3,500 cups of coffee. I hope they've got extra porta potties. Between 5,000 and 6,000 Scandinavian cookies, such as krumkaka, spritz, etc. Var so good. Oh, wow. They're really, you know what? The positivity of how many people are going to show up to their Lutefisk feed. Like, I need that kind of mojo when I'm promoting shows. You know what? We need 40 pounds of coleslaw because...
That is the perfect way to end this episode, Amber Preston.
Oh, my gosh.
Because, you guys, we're going to need 1,200 people to show up with 600 pounds of fish, please.
Right.
At Amber Preston's next event. This will go up the first week of October. Do you have anything to plug that first week?
I don't know anything. What's happening? Just
Preston.
follow. I'm sure there'll be a Comedy Crossing, the Animal Crossing game coming up, but just follow me on all the social medias.
There you go. Sparkly Parts. Buy it. Listen to it. Get her some Sound Exchange cash at Preston Party, ladies and gentlemen. Amber Preston, thank you so much for doing the dork for us.
Thank you so much for having me, Jackie. I hope I didn't make you too hungry with all these recipes.
No, I think actually this is going to help.
Okay.
And Rangers, you know the rules out there. Take care of each other.
My hat, my hat, my hat. They're dancing around my hat. My hat, my hat, my hat. Well, what do you think of that? If it looks like a Mexican hat dance and it sounds like a Mexican hat dance, it's most likely a Mexican hat dance. So take off your hat and let's dance.
Yay! Oh my God. Why don't we just call that as the end of the show?